For ACUSports.com, I'm Grant Boone as we talk some Wildcat football here with head coach Ken Collums and junior defensive tackle Josh Bloom, who has a little bit of a home game coming up this weekend down in Beaumont. We'll talk about that in just a second. Josh, you've been around some really good defensive linemen in your time at ACU. I'm thinking about guys like Nick Richardson, second all-time in sacks, and a guy like Damon Williams, who got into the Atlanta Falcons camp and training camp just earlier this year. When you look at this year's defensive line, tell me what you see and tell me what the upside could be.
I mean, we got a lot of young guys out there. Last year we played about 4 freshmen, so I mean, you got the mixture of me, Rashad, William Moore, older guys, and then a lot of younger guys that bring a lot of good things to the table. One thing comes to mind: LaMarcus Allen, Dylan Douglas have an absolutely absurd pass rush. Kind of gives you shades of Nick Rich when you think about that. So I mean, we've got a lot of potential to come out there and just show teams what we have with these young guys, and they're just going to get better every game and every year.
When you look at the numbers, they haven't been pretty in terms of stopping the run. Do you take numbers like that personally? Do you say, hey, I don't look at individual numbers, it's a team game, we're 2-2 overall? How do you look at it?
I mean, yeah, I look at it personally because, I feel like I have I'm in charge a little bit of the defense, being an older guy, and we've built a lot of things on our defense and being able to stop the run. I mean, last year we were first in run stoppage in the Southland for 9 weeks straight, and so it's a little knife jab to the heart when you're getting stats like that. So we put things like that in front of our lockers to remind us that we need to go out and work every day to become better at it. So
any defensive line that loses guys like Richardson and Williams, you would think would suffer a little bit. But as you look at film and as you try to you're a nursing major, as you try to diagnose what exactly is going on, can you put your finger on it? Is it something that you say, okay, this is a technique issue, it's a scheme issue, it's an effort issue? Can you tell?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, all our guys, we pride ourselves on effort. We finish plays. You watch games, we got guys running to the ball. And then there are times, it's just technique things, where your feet are, how your hands are placed, are you in your gap, things like that. Just the minimal things we need to correct that'll kind of get us better and get us where we need to be.
Do you think that this unit can get significantly better as the season goes on?
Oh, yes, sir, absolutely. Coach Moore, he works day in and day out effortlessly on technique issues. And so once we've all get that, we're rolling on all 4 cylinders. I don't think there's an offensive line in the country that can stop us.
Cody Moore, your defensive line coach, you've also had some great moments this year on the defensive front and the last couple of years. You don't exactly go home. Beaumont's not exactly Kingwood, but it's not far away. You're going to have some friends there. You'll also have a friend who, for Saturday night, will be an enemy, right? And Cade Harrington, the great running back for Lamar. You go back a ways, right, with him?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been friends for about coming up in our youth, playing youth football together. So, I mean, it'd be good to finally get back at him a little bit when it matters in college. So.
Tell me a little bit about your degree and your work toward your nursing degree.
Okay, it's just what I've been thinking about for a long time. When I was I had a surgery when I was in high school, and the people that kept me up and uplifted every time I started feeling down were my nurses, and so just that impact that they had on me kind of shaped my life early, and just to go out there, go to the hospital, see people's faces, and just to be able to make an impact on them, whether it be medically, physically, anything like that. I just have a heart for people. So, I mean, it's a great field. You get to work hand in hand with people every day, and it's a calling. It's a love thing. So
great. Well, let's talk to your head coach here. That degree for Josh really, in some ways, is reflective of who he is. Big guy, soft heart, right?
You bet. And he is a servant. And you look at what nursing is serving people and loving people. And I'm sure, any hospital will like having a big guy like that around and say, hey, can you grab that and move that? I mean, that's kind of what we do with him now. Hey, can you move that guard back into the backfield a little bit? But I'm sure he'll keep doing that. But, no, we're blessed to have Josh and just what he brings to the table.
Administer some blows, but then care for them afterwards,
That's
right? He's full service as a defensive tackle. Hey, you're not pinning all of those rushing defensive numbers on the D-line, though, are you? It's a full team thing. And the offense plays a part in that as well, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. The thing is when people are moving the ball on you, you don't get, we always talk about you don't get bonus points for moving the ball, but one thing that does affect a game is running the ball. When you're giving up especially yards on first down. When a team, you look at Central Arkansas last week, when they ran the ball on first down, they averaged over 5 yards a carry in the first half. And that puts their offense in a really positive situation, puts our defense in a negative situation, and we've got to do a better job on first down. People are going to break big runs. I mean, this is a good league. You got good running backs. You got good quarterbacks that are going to run the ball a little bit. Those aren't what you really worry about. You worry about the consistent, chipping away, putting the offense in a good spot as far as keeping the entire playbook open, and that's what we're addressing. And the thing is, it's not just a defensive lineman. We don't have enough defensive linemen to fit every gap. There's a linebacker with a gap. There's a linebacker over here with a gap. There's a safety with a gap. We've got enough young people out there to where we're having to learn some things. And what you saw, we got exposed a little bit last Saturday night just for. We were not as aggressive as we should have been. A little bit more just a mentality thing. Our guys were going to the right spots for the most part. Now the big plays, we weren't in the right spots. And a lot of times when you see a big play in a game, a lot of times there's a safety involved, looking at the wrong thing or out of position, and that's what happened. We got young safeties, but it starts with the defensive line compressing, setting the edge, compressing those running lanes, and then linebackers being able to not only see who has the ball and go and tackle him, but you got to diagnose the play. You have to recognize the play, recognize the scheme, understand what they're trying to get out of it, and doing all that while playing downhill. And we're missing some of that, but it all works together. And when you get it figured out, you'll start getting more stops on first down, and you'll start putting offenses behind the chains a little bit.
As you look at this week's matchup, I know you haven't seen every team on film, but how good is Lamar?
Well, you don't have to watch many snaps to figure out, all right, these guys are going to be able to play. One thing you don't need is a heavyweight fight every single week. But guess what? That's what we signed up for in the Southland Conference. That's why it's a good league. And these guys were good last year. Lamar was good last year. They won significant number of games last year, beat us in Shotwell when we had a double-digit lead. They made more plays than us down the stretch to be able to win the game. But this year now, I mean, they're good. They beat Sam Houston. Two of the ringleaders of this league, Sam Houston and Southeastern Louisiana, they went to Huntsville and beat Sam, and then they go to Hammond, and it comes down to the wire on Southeastern. So these guys can play. We're going to have to play solid defense. They've got a quality running back, one of the top receivers in the league. And defensively, they got one of the top D tackles in the league, and we've got our hands full, and we got to play well for 4 quarters if we expect to win the game.
Last thing, Lamar just brought football back after a 20-year absence. They disbanded it late 80s, brought it back. Their first season was 2010, and when they did, they really did a great job with their facilities. The Provost Humphrey Stadium is a terrific facility. You talk so many times about what this stadium that ACU is building will begin building early next year. You talk so much about what that's going to do. You've seen, your belief, what you told me, is that their facilities down there have dramatically impacted their ability to recruit, and you think the same thing's going to happen here, right?
Oh, there's no question. When you bring people in, they have to feel at home, but they have to see home. And that's what when they bring people down there to Beaumont and you show them quality facilities, it makes them want to be more a part of it. And so it is with our stadium. We get this thing built, and man, that's the big thing that we're missing.
It's the missing piece.
That's exactly right. And this thing may blow up when we get that, but it'll give people, and it'll affect way more than football. I mean, it'll get students, our enrollment, everything is going to change when we get that.
Should be big. Well, in the meantime, Saturday night, Beaumont, Texas, 7 o'clock kick, ACU against Lamar. First time down there in Beaumont since 1972. We'll have the pregame show for you on the ACU Sports Network beginning at 6:30. For Josh Bloom and for Ken Collums, I'm Grant Boone for ACUsports.com.